Welcome dear students. So in this video we are just going to see about the segmentation part, so which is the continuation of memory management module. So we'll see what is the segmentation after the paging technique. So segmentation is a memory management scheme that supports the user view of memory. So even the segmentation is actually the next type of memory management. So after we have the paging concept. So then what is the difference between paging and segmentation? In paging, the program have been divided into many pages regardless of complete submodule, its related data and data structures, and they are going to be stored on the memory non-contiguously. So that is what the paging. So we simply just divide the entire process into so many pieces known as the pages. So depending on the page size, what the hardware have been just specified. So which was actually irrespective of whether the lines within that particular page have been connected, means they are related or not. So maybe when you have the program with the submodules, maybe the submodule so irrelevantly have been just split into multiple pages. So that and they were just made to be stored on the physical memory. So that is on the frames. So that was the basic concept of paging. But whereas in the segmentation, what happens, this is just going to allows a program to be a collection of segments rather pages. So where each segment may vary with their sizes. So this is the difference between the segmentation and paging. Segmentation is just going to have a collection of segments. We call the division or the blocks of program under the segmentation as segments, whereas the segment size may be varied. So whereas in the paging, the pages must have the equal size. Then how it is supported? A segment is actually a logical unit such as main program, procedure, function, method, local and global variables, stacks, arrays, etc. Means we are just going to call a block of the program as a segment if it has all the relevant information, if it has all has the related instruction that constitute that piece of code, whether it might be a complete program. So you could call the complete program as one segment, or otherwise it would be a just small procedure, or it would be a one function, and you can just call separate method as one segment if you have a collection of all the local and global variables and stacks with that and arrays with associated with that particular program or application. You could call all these as a separate segments. So when we just view the program under the segmentation, you would look the program in this way. Here the program has been divided into different size of blocks called a segment. See here, instead of just simply going to just divide this into so many pages, what we are just doing here is that the entire program have been divided into so many segments, where the segments can be one complete program, or it might be a one subroutine, or it might be some relevant information about the stacks used or the symbol table of that particular program after executing it. So it might be constituting the entire main program, or it might be some other sub module which have been just written for finding out the square root, something like that. So we could just see in this manner how the program have been just divided under the segmentation. So when you want to just store it on the physical memory, how it would appear? So these segments will be just represented by the segment number. Say assume I have a segment number 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So each of the segments which are in different sizes has to be randomly allocated on the physical memory. So we have to make sure that there must be a contiguous, there must be a space that is available so on the memory which is equivalent to the segment size. Say here I have a segment 1 which is of size which is larger than the segment 2, and the third segment is of bigger size. So when you are allocating the memory, if it is just getting the block for the segment 1 completely, you could just go and fit the segment 1 over there. In the same way, the second part of the program, that is actually second segment, so which could be just can be just fit somewhere on the physical memory which has the portion that is equivalent to the size of that particular segment. In the same way, the third segment, so wherever wherever we can just get that particular amount of space, you could just fit there. So the fourth can be just fit over here. So means the physical memory is just going to allocate the memory non-contiguously for the process, but within the segment it must be contiguous. The segment cannot be further segmented. The program which have been divided into so many segments has to be just randomly depending on the different size that is available on the physical memory. You could just go and fit those segments on the physical memory. So that's the difference between the paging and segmentation. So what is the segmentation architecture then? To support the segmentation, the logical address have been divided into two parts. The one has a segment number and other has a segment offset. So where in the page table paging concept, the logical address have been just divided into two values, where the P and D, where P was representing the page number and D was the paging offset of the page. So the same way, even the segmentation have the logical address that have been divided into two fields. So one is the segment number, who represent the segment ID, and segment offset. So within that segment code, so which particular data you need to just access, that is just going to be represented by having a segment offset. So we have also the segment table. So as we have in the paging, the page table who holds the information about the pages and the frame where they have allocated. Here we have a segment table which actually keeps track of the segments and their memory on the, their addresses on the memory. So basically the segment table has two entries. The one is the base and other is the limit, where base field of the segment table would represent the starting address of each segment on the physical memory, whereas the limit would give you the length of the segment. So these are the two fields which are there in the segment table. So there in the paging we had only one field which has the frame number. Here we have two fields. The base would represent the starting address of the segment where it is available on the physical memory, and limit would give you the length of the segment. So again we have some kind of register supportants for the segmentation architecture. We have the first register, that is segment base register, who holds the segment's tables location in the memory. What we have in the PTBR, the page table base address, whose the base address of that particular page table have been just loaded. In the same way, suppose if you want to get to know this particular segment where it has been just available on the physical memory, so that starting address can be loaded onto the ASTBR. We have the second register, segment table length register, which indicates the number of segments used by the program. The same way we had in the PTLR also, page table length register, which can just say the number of entries. In the same way here, the segment table length register gives the number of segments. The protection bits may be associated with the segments to provide the information about its privileges to perform on that particular piece of block. So maybe the write function, read function, or execute function, something like that. So what are the permissions that are associated with those segments will be just specified by having a protection bits. Each segment, since each segment size may vary depending on the logic and the data what it carries, the memory allocation is dynamic. So obviously, since we could not just say that all the segments has to be in the same size, so that you could just have the fixed chunks and can have a fixed memory allocation over there. Since the segment partition, maybe the first subroutine may constitute several lines, where the second module or the second submodule which has the smaller lines. So maybe depending on the data and the logic what it is just carrying, so the size of the segments also just varied. So that's why we need to just go for having a dynamic memory allocation. Here we have a segmentation hardware diagram which shows how exactly the segmentation will be just the address of the segments will be just mapped on the physical address. So here the CPU is just going to generate the logical address for the segment, so which is in this form. So whenever the logical address generated by the CPU under segmentation, it has two parts. The one is S indicates the segment number, D indicates the offset. So we need to fetch the segment yes part, the number of bits that would represent the yes. We need to fetch the segment number, and we need to just check out what is the address. So for that particular segment on the segment table, since the segment table uses the segment number as the index and it has the information about its base address and the limit address, so we could easily fetch the details of that particular segment. So we got to know the limit and base address of that particular address. Now how do you just check that is this logical address generated by CPU so is within the segment's address? So how do you do that? So we need to just check out that. So whatever the offset, the segment offset we are looking forward, is it just going to lie within the limit of that particular segment? That's why we are just going to fetch only the limit field from the table, and we are just checking with the offset. Is this offset what we are just generated here, is it lesser than the limit? Means is it lying within the limit of that particular segment? So if it is so, then we have to have the base address that is to be added to the offset of it, because base address holds the starting address of the segment on the physical memory. For that address you need to add that particular line number or that particular offset of the segment. So it must be added in order to just move to that particular location on the physical memory. Suppose whatever the segment address or whatever the logical address generated that particular line, if it is not lying within the limit address or the length of the segment, so obviously it is a trap, because the segment length could not exceed the limit of it. So then we need to trap to the operating system saying that there is a addressing error. So this is how the segmentation address translation will be carried. The same thing I have just mentioned over here. So where the CPU generates the logical address that have been divided into S and D, we need to fetch the D, check with the limit. If it lies within the limit, then add the base address to get into that particular location, otherwise trap to the operating system. So here we have a small example which illustrates the segmentation and its allocation on the physical memory. So we have a one complete program that have been divided into multiple segments of different sizes, and we have denoted them with a segment number. So from 0 to 4, segment 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we have a memory location the representation for the segments. So I have just fit this segment 0 somewhere here from the 1400 length to 2400. So that is depending on the length of this segment. And segment 1 have been just fitted over here from 6300 addresses to 6700 address. So in the same way you fit all these segments wherever that sufficient memory blocks are available on the physical memory. Once you just fit those segments, we need to update the segment table. So in order to update the segment table, it has limit and base address fields. So we need to just get to know what is the starting address and what is the length of the segment. So segment 0, so when you just look into the memory, segment 0 is available from the starting address 1400. This is the base address. So the limit is nothing but the length of the segment. So how do you get the length of the segment? By just differencing between the end address from the begin address. So if you do 2400 minus 1400, so that gives the length of that segment. That is nothing but limit field. So 1000 is the length of the segment 0. Likewise, segment 2 is available in segment 1 is available in 6300 physical address, and its length is 400, because 6700 minus 6300 would give you a 400 as the length of the segment 1. Likewise, segment 2 starting address 4300, its length is 400 again. So segment 3 starting address 2400 and its address again. So likewise we need segment 3 is 3200 and its length is 1100. Likewise we need to just calculate, we need to just update the segment table with the base and limit address. Thank you.